Anytime I see one of these videos, I have to watch them because it's about Australia. So let me teach you all about Australia. 12 Aussie items I'd never heard of until moving here.
Before I moved to Australia, I thought...
Aussie mode? Okay, sure. Here we go. There you go. Are you happy now?
I had a pretty decent idea of what to expect. After all, I've been with my Aussie wife for a couple of years. I tried a few things already, like Vegemite, for example, and I liked it. So I was mentally just...
What a fucking weird thing to hear. I tried Vegemite and I liked it. I'm assuming if he liked it... I'm assuming his partner made him whatever, like the sandwich or the toast. And he didn't make it himself. Because this is the reason why everybody hates Vegemite. They treat it like Nutella or like jam. It's not. You have to be... Vegemite is a chemical weapon. You have to be very careful with how much Vegemite you use.
After all, I've been with my Aussie wife for a couple of years. I tried a few things already, like Vegemite, for example, and I liked it. So I was mentally just preparing for, you know, hot weather, lovely beaches, and the occasional spider.
I wouldn't say occasional. Usually daily. It's fine. It's a spider. It won't hurt you.
How wrong I was. Of course I'm generalizing here, but what I didn't expect are these small little niche things that you see every day that completely...
Wait, yes, that right there is the most Australian thing you'll ever see. Warning, swooping bird. Oh, he's in Queensland. Protect your eyes, head, and face. Walk, don't run, or ride your bike. Avoid this area if possible. Let me show you a magpie helmet. I am not trolling. This is a real thing that people do. This is not a joke. You think I am trolling. This is real. This is not a drop bear situation. This is an actual thing that we do. So, magpies are a very common bird. I don't actually know what they are. I'm assuming they're a kind of crow. They're in the family of Corvidae. But they are very aggressive birds during mating season. So around spring, if you are within like a 300-meter radius of a magpie, it will try to kill you. And it will especially try to kill you if you're on a bike. They love attacking cyclists. I am not joking. And there are some areas where, like, especially if you go, like, cycling down paths and there's, like, a bunch of trees, you might get attacked by, like, 10 magpies in a row.
That completely threw me off. Shops I'd never heard of.
Bunnings! We fucking love Bunnings!
Foods that just don't exist back in the UK. And little details that just make this country not only unique, but completely different from where I'm originally from. But that's one of the reasons why I moved here. It's because it's different and I absolutely...
It's like Pokemon random encounter. Exactly. Don't go through the grass. You'll either be attacked by a snake or a bird. Maybe a wombat. Or a kangaroo. Sometimes kangaroos just come into town. I saw a... Wait. I'll see if I can find this one. It's actually a kind of funny one. No. This is on... No, here we go. Here's the video. Where is it? So here's a kangaroo that just like wanted to get on the train. It's just chilling at the train station. They do that sometimes.
Love it. So these are 12 Aussie items that I'd never heard of before until moving here. Let's get into it. G'day mate, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Sam, a British actor now living in Australia. And on this channel, I take you inside Aussie life, exploring its culture, lifestyle, and everything that makes...
Bro, are you going to do a Tim Tam slam? I don't have any Tim Tams right now, but I could do that, yes.
This country absolutely awesome. Before we get into this is just my personal experience living in Brisbane. You don't need me to tell you that Australia is my personal experience living...
That is the most Brisbane fucking picture I've ever seen. Fucking about to rain. When was this recorded? 4 days ago. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, actually, wait, I think it just has rained. Yeah, I think it just has rained. Yeah, this fucking Brisbane for sure.
Brisbane. You don't need me to tell you that Australia is a huge continent and each state varies. So the first one is fly screens on loads of the doors and windows here. In the UK, we only really get 2 to 3 months of proper summer. And even then, I doubt a Queenslander would call it proper summer compared to what you get here. UK summers.
I lived in Queensland for... I reckon like 5-6 years as a kid.
Beautiful, but when we get hot, we'll just open the window and the door and there won't be any fly screen on it. And admittedly, loads of flies and wasps and bees, they just fly into your home and it's not a good vibe. But in Australia, it's not uncommon to walk into someone's house and they'll have probably a fly screen on.
Yep. Yeah, usually you have a lot of newer places because they don't want to waste as much space. You'll have a sliding door. So you have 2 sliding doors. You have the sliding door with either some sort of... It's usually going to be like a security screen where it's like hard to kick in. But it basically serves as like a way to keep the flies out. And then you have the actual glass door if you want to fully close out the area. I think I'm more surprised that Brits don't have fly screens. Yeah, I don't know why. That's kind of weird.
On their back door, maybe their front door, and on their windows. And this is because...
Yeah, like this window right here, there's like a fly screen. You actually can't open the window fully. Like, you are not able to fully open the window. There is a screen right there.
It's a hot place in Queensland, at least. So it's nice to have the windows open. It's nice to, hear the birds and have the breeze coming in. But Australia has a lot of flies, right? And if you didn't have these fly screens, your house would be bombarded with them and it wouldn't be fun. I've even been told that's why Aussies shorten their words a lot more, because back in the day, back in the bush, you would have got lots of flies blown into your mouth if you said the words in proper English.
I've never heard of this one before.
Even get me started on mosquitoes. They're pretty brutal here.
Yeah.
If you opened the window without a fly screen, you'd have so many mozzies in your home and you get eaten alive, so it just wouldn't be fun. Number 2 is massive tubs of Milo.
Yeah, brother! Fucking Milo!
The only Milo I've actually ever tried is from Australia. In fact...
This is basically chocolate milk that sponsors all of the sports. This is treated as if it's like a sports drink.
In fact, I didn't even know Milo existed in the UK until I met my wife. She introduced me to Aussie Milo, tried it, loved it, then went back home to the UK and saw Milo in the shops and was like, oh, okay. But although I haven't tried the UK version, everyone says it's not as good. It's not as like malty and tasty and chocolatey. I love that it's got like basically a paint can lid.
Yep, that's the most important part.
Tasty and chocolatey. I love that it's got like basic...
Milo's rather popular in the Philippines. We have that in my country too. Huh, I didn't know that.
A paint can lid.
Yeah, you gotta make sure it's sealable. And you're not gonna have like a screw-on lid. That's fucking stupid. Just make it a paint can. Ah, yes, we treat it as if it's sports steroid. Exactly, yes.
For industrial protection.
And very important.
Honestly, the Aussie way is to sometimes just eat a spoonful of it. At least, like, that's what my wife did when she was a kid.
Yeah, people do that. Yeah.
A little bit dry.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I needed some milk with that.
Good plan.
But it tastes amazing. Now, in the UK, if you want a comforting drink, you'll probably go for the Cadbury's hot chocolate. And while they do have that here,
that is
I
pretty
think
good.
the go-to would be Milo here. That's what I would say from what I've seen. The great thing about Milo is you can have it hot.
Same here in Indonesia. Ovaltine was formerly market leader, but Nestle strong marketing dethroned it in the 1990s. Oh, okay. We have something similar. Ours is Ovaltine. Where is... Okay, we have Ovaltine here. Where is that actually from? I don't know. Ovaltine. It is a... Let's see. It started as a... Oh, it's from Switzerland. It started with... Wait, I'm so confused. I think Nestle half owns it. Yeah, Nestle owns it now, by the looks of it. Oh, wait, Nestle owns it in the United States. But they license it from the Associated British Foods. Yeah, okay.
Or cold, but the way my wife taught me how to eat it is you put a few dry scoops into a glass first, a bit of cold milk, and then a few dry scoops on top, and you give it a really just light stir. And then you, with a teaspoon, kind of eat it like a dessert. You might be an Aussie who has never done that before, and you might think it's terrible, but don't knock it until you try it.
No, I know people have done that.
In my books, the only way to eat Milo. And I guess that sounds weird because it's meant to be a drink, but absolutely delicious.
Don't worry about it.
By the way, if you're enjoying this, would you mind doing me a favor and just hitting the like button?
Yeah,
it really helps to support my channel. Thank you. Number 3 is water fountains everywhere with dog bowls at the bottom.
You don't want to fucking overheat. You don't want to be dehydrated. You want some fucking water.
I'm a runner. I run every single day apart from Sundays, and I love running in Australia. And it's so handy to know that in Brisbane City, at least, I can go out and not bring my water bottle with me and not have that lugging me down.
Yeah, but those fucking taps are a little bit sketch.
City, at least, I can go out and not bring my water.
Like, some of these fucking taps are, you know... Ugh, I wouldn't drink from some of these. Maybe it's fine in, like, Brisbane City, but, like, some of these are, you know, they haven't been cleaned in a long fucking time. They've got some mold on them. You're gonna get some water, but you're like... yeah, I don't know if you're gonna live much fucking longer.
Bottle with me and not have that lugging me down, because there's water fountains everywhere, and a lot of Queenslanders call them bubblers, which I think is a great name for it.
I never heard that term before.
Makes me thirsty thinking about it, actually. What I love, that especially near the park next to me, a lot of the water fountains have a little doggy bowl at the bottom that you can fill up, and then your dog can drink with you, which I just think is the best thing. They say that dogs are humans' best friends, so why can't you have a drink with your dog? Not out.
Given his immune system will work out as well, 2 for 1. Yeah, it's fucking true.
Of course. But that brings me on to the next one. Drive-through.
This is my favorite one. I love when people find out about this one. Fucking drive-through bottle shops. Get yourself, drive to the fucking bottle shop, drive through, get yourself some Jack Daniels. She'll be right.
Bottle shops, otherwise known as drive-through liquor shops if you're from America. Now, honestly, I don't see a lot of these. Aussies seem to love them, so if you want the
there it is, fucking BWS. Every single reasonable sized hotel or pub is gonna have some form of either a BWS, Thirsty Camel, something like that. Like, you could, like, is Jack Daniels, I think, is American. But it's very popular here. Yeah, Jack Daniels is from Tennessee. Yeah, it says it on the bottle. They sponsor a lot of sports here as well. Which is part of the reason why they're popular. But yeah, like, there's just, like, the local pub, there'll be, like, a section you can drive through and just fucking grab some alcohol on your way home.
Picking up your Friday night wine before you go to your friend's apartment.
Friday night wine. Yeah.
Want the convenience of picking up your Friday night wine before you...
Nah, your fucking Friday night absolute fucking vodka. Go, get yourself a fucking liter bottle. A liter bottle of fucking Absolute. That'll fucking put you on your ass.
you go to your friend's apartment. Like, that's the way to do it. Number 5 is Tim Tams. Now, when I was first introduced to a Tim...
So, a lot of people, when they see Tim Tams, like, they see the, like, classic Tim Tam. Let me bring up the image. These guys. So, you know how in Japan they have a million different Kit Kats? Well, let me go to the Coles website. Coles Tim Tams. No, I don't want to just see that one. Show me Tim Tams. Here we go. You got all these fucking different Tim Tams. You got double coat, you got chewy caramel, you got dark chocolate, white chocolate, salted caramel brownie, triple chocolate, dark chalk mint, gluten-free, Jats, which is like a savory biscuit, cafe latte. I know there are more of them, but they're not listed here because I've put them on the shelf before. Get yourself some fucking Tim Tams, brother.
Tim Tam. I was like, oh, so it's just the Aussie equivalent of the British penguin biscuit.
What the fuck is that?
Then I tried it and I was like, oh, how wrong I was. Tim Tams are delicious. And I know, I probably sound like I'm going for the very stereotypical Aussie things. Oh, Tim Tams, yeah, all the tourists are talking about Tim Tams. But they're actually on another level. They're so chocolatey, delicious. They come in lots of different flavours.
Oh, there it goes.
My Aussie wife explained to me what a Tim Tam slam was, where you bite the end of it off, and then I think you bite the other end of it off, and you drink milk through it. Oh, amazing. Also, us Brits, we love dipping our bickies into our tea and into our milk.
Very common here as well.
Yeah, I can fully get behind a Tim Tam slam. I tried the Murray River salted caramel Tim Tams, and they were limited edition at the time, so I don't know if they do them anymore.
That makes sense.
And they were unreal. Also, guys, I was looking at my analytics the other day, and I noticed that over 97% of you who regularly watch my content aren't actually subscribed.
Wait, how many views does he normally get? He's got 2.5k subs. Hold on, how the fuck do you... Wait, what the fuck? He has 2.5k subs, and he gets like 40k views of videos. Some of them get like 200. At least on his Australian ones, he does really fucking well. Jesus. Okay, sure.
Yet, so if you could consider hitting that subscribe button below, that would mean a lot to me. Cheers. Number 6 is a Bunnings sausage sizzle.
Yeah, brother.
Now, Bunnings is the famous hardware store here in Australia. Often for charity, there'll be a charity group outside of the Bunnings selling snags in bread. I got roasted in my last video for saying a snag is typically put in bread. A snag is Aussie word for a sausage. And a sausage sizzle, you'll have your snags on the barbecue.
He's also a professional actor. Yeah, I obviously this isn't like his main thing. I'm just confused by like a channel that just gets shitloads of views on some set of videos and then basically nothing on others.
The charity will cook them up for you. You pay them a few dollars and they'll pop.
The only problem with Bunnings snags now is they've gotten pretty expensive for, you know, like it used to be a gold coin donation, so it was like $1 or $2. Now it's like at $3, $3.50. So you really need to like think about buying them. And a lot less people end up buying them because of that. Obviously, you know, inflation, all that stuff. But like, even so, people just see the number being bigger. And it's harder to justify now.
Put it in a singular white slice of bread for you, and you can put some sauces on them and some onions. Personally, haven't found a sausage sizzle that does a veggie option, but if anyone finds...
Don't be a fucking pushy. Who needs a fucking veggie? No one... We don't need no fucking vegan sausages. Make your own fucking sausages if you want vegan.
This one in Queensland, let me know. I'll be there tomorrow. And once you've had your sausage sizzle, you can go into Bunnings, or you could do a bit of shopping in Bunnings, and then you could go get your sausage sizzle.
Or you do what everyone else does, which is you buy the sausage and you walk around Bunnings eating it, which Which is totally normal. No one's gonna look at you weird for doing that.
Number 7 is fairy bread. Fairy bread looks like a 6-year-old's creation, but don't knock it until you try it. It's white bread with either butter or...
Yup. I had someone, I was talking to someone at work last night who, he's not from Australia, and he was very confused about why fairy bread exists. He didn't understand it. He thought it was weird. Get out. Get out. Fairy bread is a national treasure. It is the most important food you could ever get from Australia. It is amazing. It's fucking sprinkles on white bread with butter. Don't ever use wholemeal bread. If you're using wholemeal bread, domestic terrorist. If you're using sourdough bread, domestic terrorist. Using fucking margarine, domestic terrorist. I actually don't mind imitation meats that much. I still will slam a bacon cheeseburger. This is a fucking joke. I don't actually care. If someone wants to sell vegan sausages at a sausage sizzle, that's fine. It's just, you're gonna have a lot of them left over. I still slam a bacon cheeseburger, don't get me wrong, but the fake meats aren't bad. I'm sure they're fine.
Margarine, correct me if I'm wrong, and then you put...
fucking butter. Don't do fucking margarine, do butter.
I've been told by the Aussies here, the cheapest hundreds and thousands sprinkles that you can find in the supermarket. We also call them hundreds and thousands back in the UK. Basically, sugary little tiny pieces. You sprinkle that onto the buttered bread. What did I think when I tried it? It tastes like white bread with some margarine and some sprinkles on it. Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I wouldn't write home about it, just being honest, but Aussies swear by it, and it's the go-to party snack. So if you go to an Aussie party...
It is the simplest thing you can make. We pronounce margarine with a hard G here. Margarine? Do you mean that? I don't eat margarine myself. I want actual butter. I don't want I don't want like industrial lubricant to put on my food.
You'll see lots of triangle sliced pieces of fairy bread, I hope, because in my opinion, the only way to slice bread is triangle, not squares. Yeah, it's just a great snack. Number 8 is public barbecues that actually work. This is all...
Yeah, everywhere, every park you go to, there's going to be public barbecues. Yes, I can confirm. Huh. Actually, here's a question. He brought up a good point there. How do you slice your bread? Do you do horizontal or diagonal? I must know. I must know so I can ban you from my chat. Because the correct option, the only correct option is diagonal. If you're not going from corner to corner, you're doing it wrong. Or you can choose to not cut it. That's also an option. That is acceptable. But cutting is corner to corner, nothing else. And if you want to be, like, you know, cut it for a child, you do like corner to corner and then the other corners. Semicircle? I don't know what to do with you, actually. I don't know how to handle that. That's impressive. I typically don't slice, but I'll do diagonal if I feel fancy. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Now, I don't want to be that Brit and stereotypes Aussies and say they love a barbecue.
They do.
It's just really nice.
No, you should, because it's correct.
See, when you go to a public park, there'll be these really big metal barbecues that you can actually use and cook your food on, and they're completely free to use. So if you get a group of mates together, if you're having a birthday party, or you just want to hang out with your family, you can go to one of these, and as long as they're not already taken up by someone else, you can cook your food on this public free bar.
There is this thing that people do, and they're fucking... They are monsters who do it. So there are... so if I'll go back to that thing. Just so we're clear, the barbecues are under like these... I don't know this park specifically, but normally they would be under these shelters here. Assuming this place actually has barbecues. There are people that will tape up the barbecue shelter. Like, they'll run fucking, like, cling film or tape around it so no one comes and steals it. So we have weird Karens in Australia as well.
Go to a public park, there'll be these really big metal barbecues that you can actually use and cook your food on, and they're completely free to use. So if you get a group of mates together, if you're having a birthday party, or you just want to hang out with your family, you can go to one of these, and as long as they're not already taken up by someone else, you can cook your food on this public free barbecue. And I think that's just
I would recommend bringing a lot of cleaning equipment, because some people don't clean them correctly.
Nice touch, because that would never happen in the UK. In the UK, they would get graffitied, they would get trashed.
Oh, don't get me wrong, they get graffitied here as well. Do not be mistaken, but they will work.
Number 9 is Aussie only chocolate bars. Things like Cherry Ripe, Caramello Koala, which is essentially a Freddo Frog, but in the shape of a koala, obviously, and filled with delicious caramel. And Violet Crumble. Honestly, I've always wanted
kind of iffy on Violet Crumbles.
To try Violet Crumble. I met my wife Maddie, she got us some, and I was like, yeah, this did not disappoint. However, controversial, I still prefer a British Cadbury's Crunchy.
They're pretty good as well.
And the reason being is I find the Cadbury's UK chocolate just to be a bit more creamier, and it's what I...
Wait, what is a Cherry Ripe? Let me bring up the picture. Cherry Ripe. Here is the Cherry Ripe. There you go. Here we go. Here's the Wikipedia page on the Cherry Ripe. That's an image. Here's the Wikipedia page on the Cherry Ripe. It is a branded chocolate bar manufactured by Cadbury Australia, introduced by the Australian confectioner Mac Robertson's in 1924. It is now one of Australia's oldest chocolate bars and is one of the top chocolate bars sold in the country. It consists of cherries and coconut coated with dark chocolate. We love coconut here. There is a lot of coconut snacks. They are pretty good. I will say they're pretty good. 100. I didn't know they were that old. The koala thing sounds like caramellos in the States. It probably is the same thing. Caramellos. It is by Cadbury, so it's very possible. It is very possible this is the same thing as. Is the same thing as this. Where is it? It's just, you know, wait, give me an image. Give me the fucking image. Let me bring up the Caramello Koala. It's possible they're the same thing, it's just this is like... considering they're both called Caramello, I assume they're probably the same thing, but we just have them shaped as koalas because... Yeah. Brody, I will pay you to send me the Cherry Ripes.
Grew up with at the end of the day, and I just prefer the honeycomb in it. But Caramello Koala is great. I've only tried Cherry Ripe once, and don't really remember what it was like.
It's so fucking hard to find cherry flavored stuff here because everyone associates the flavor with children's medicine. Yeah, also the other thing we have is it's actually going to taste like a cherry. That's the other nice thing that we have. When food says it tastes like something, it usually tastes like that. It's not like, you know, it's orange colored. No, it's going to taste like an orange.
Like, honestly. Number 10 is beautiful smelling air.
This is why I clicked on this video and wanted to watch it. I don't know what the fuck he means here.
I found particularly in the springtime, as you would expect, the air smells amazing. I love going outdoors here in Australia.
Beautiful smelling air. I guess if he's from the UK, probably everywhere you go smells like fucking petrol and like car exhaust. I guess that's fair.
Because in Queensland, the weather is almost always good unless we're getting Cyclone Alfred. Whenever I go back to the UK, I really miss the smell of the air in Australia.
We have a lot, like Australia, we have a lot of plants.
Whenever I go back to the UK, I really...
we don't have cities that are entirely concrete. You're going to have plants placed around everywhere. You're going to have like shrubbery. Like, this is just normal. This is probably like 2 minutes away from his house, right? Like, this is totally normal to see everywhere in Australia.
Miss the smell of the air in Australia when I'm out running in the UK and it's freezing. And hey, the UK also smells awesome. I would say mainly if you're in the countryside, which is where I'm from the Cotswolds. The smell of the grass and the trees and even the cows, which sounds weird, to me smells great. But Australia just feels more tropical and exotic to me. And that's just such a nice experience. Also, if you're enjoying
You are in Queensland. If it smells tropical, that's probably because it is You're in fucking Queensland. It is tropical. There's a reason why in summer you get fucking 35 and 90% humidity.
This video, I think you'll absolutely love my free weekly newsletter. It's only a 3-minute read and I deep dive into what it's like being in Aussie culture as a British person, as someone who's just moved here, and a few tips to improve your life as well. So if that sounds interesting, you can subscribe to that in one click using the link in the description below. Number 11 is massive cartons of milk that you can buy in the supermarkets here. We're talking like 3 or 4 litres.
Yeah, brother.
In the UK, what's the limit? Let me check. In the UK, we max out at 4 pints, which is about 2.72 litres. But here in Australia, you can get 3 or 4 litres. And that's where I see a sort of amalgamation between the UK and America here. Obviously, Australia is its own place, its own people.
True.
I get that. But I still see a mixture of British and American things here. And I think the massive cartons of milk feel very American to me. In the UK, our portion sizes are quite small. And our container sizes of foods and drinks that you buy in the UK.
Our portion sizes are pretty much UK-like. There's some really good videos comparing KFC across different countries. And our sizes are basically what you get in the UK. Like, we don't have, you know, a good example. We can't buy, like, buckets of soda, right? Like, that's just not a thing. Do you have bags of milk? We have bags of powdered milk, but I don't think we have bags of liquid milk. Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, are also relatively small as well. But here in the supermarkets, it's great because you can buy massive ones, which as a British person is quite exciting. Number 12 are the beeping pedestrian crossings.
Very
now,
important.
I completely get why they do this. It helps people who are visually impaired know how much time they have to cross the road. But even without any impairments, it's helpful hearing the sound, knowing how much time you've got to cross the road. Now, admittedly, when I first heard this, I was sort of like, what is that sound? Is that a bird or something? But yeah, you realise it's the crossings. And it's a good reminder that you need to hear that sound and not jaywalk, because they will fine you if you jaywalk here. Back in the UK...
No, they won't. No, they won't. No one gives a shit if you jaywalk. Maybe if you do it in front of a cop car, they will care. No one gives a shit, though.
UK, you can jaywalk as much as you like, even if it's ridiculously dangerous. No one...
People generally don't do it because we have a lot of crossings. And because people don't want to get hit by cars, but, like... No, I disagree there.
But here in Australia, nah, you're not allowed. So just avoid it for your own safety and your bank account. And if you enjoyed this video, I know you're absolutely going to love this video here, all about the 11 things that you should never do in Australia.
I had to do that if you want to die.
These things the hard way. If you think there's anything else that I might not have heard of before, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to find out what they are.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. I'd never seen one of these guys videos before. Yeah, I agree with most of the points he brought up. I think we have few beacon crossings, beacon crosswalks, but most just have a countdown time in North America. Well, in North America, a lot of places don't have crossings. Like, my understanding is a lot of places you just, like, walk, and you just, like, die.